Welcome to The Loop. We are super excited to take you through our brand new feature, Contact Compliance. Plus, Christina's going to give us a little refresher of our compliance feature as a whole. Let's go.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Christina Strelka and I lead our amazing onboarding team here. Of course, we have the very famous Peter Volonio, Product Manager Extraordinaire. And before we jump in, we just wanted to do a massive thank you to our 6,000 agencies over the past 11 years. We just celebrated our 11th birthday.
Oh, you're not going to sing, are you?
No, I won't sing this time. We just missed it. And over end of financial year time, we also onboarded our 6,000th customer, which is very, very exciting. So 11 years young, but still, this is just the beginning for Property Me.
That's it.
So team, stacks on today. As Peter mentioned, we've got our brand new release, which is Contact Compliance. I'm going to do a refresher on reminders, now known as compliance as well, so please stick around. And your highly requested feature enhancements. So we've got enhancements to our rental stats report. We've got changes to our how to save messages and SMSs, as well as a new way to view your integrations as well.
Sounds good.
Sounds really good. And stick around because we have a bit of a secret announcement as well that's set to enhance your inspections by 360 degrees. So,
Wink, wink.
Without waiting anymore, let's jump in and take a look at our Contact Compliance feature.
That's right, stay in front of all of your compliance needs with our brand new feature, Contact Compliance. I also think our marketing team took a little bit of inspiration from how well Australia just did at the recent Olympics. So
absolutely.
Little nod to that.
Game changer, especially for your supplier insurance renewals as well. That's going to be a biggie. So Peter, please take us through.
Yep, let's jump in. So along with our Contact Compliance feature that's going out tonight, we're also rebranding our current reminders feature. So from tomorrow, you'll see our brand new compliance tab living in the sidebar menu. And from here, you can toggle between our property compliance, formerly known as reminders, and our contact compliance. So I'm going to jump in and just show you guys our templates. So it's a shared screen where you guys will be able to manage and add both property templates and contact templates. So by default, we've given you guys a supplier insurance contact template. So it's one of our system default ones. So from tomorrow, you guys can hit the ground running, jump in, update the frequency if you like. Otherwise, it's in and it's all ready for you guys to go straight away. Now to add a compliance, all we're going to do is jump across to add compliance. I'm going to select that new supplier insurance template from the list. There's a contact that I want to link this compliance to, which is, I've lost him, Locksmith Giants, there we go. The template is going to pull the frequency, but you can update that if you wish, and then we're going to set a due date. So when you want this compliance to appear in your due list, and then a certificate expiry. So when your supplier's insurance policy is actually going to lapse. And then I like to add in just some notes regarding the policy. So I'm just going to pop in NRMA because that's who the supplier is with. Give that a save and you'll see that it updates the due list straight away. Now in order to manage the compliance, super simple, you can do it in bulk. All we're going to do is just select that very top box so everyone is highlighted in the list. I'm going to go ahead and send out my supplier insurance policy is due. So again, this is another system template that you guys will have in your portfolios ready to go from tomorrow, but feel free to update this and change it to however you like, but our default one is in there for you. So we've sent the message off to all of the suppliers. Now we're just going to mark them as in progress, and they'll sit in your in progress bucket until your suppliers reach back to you and say, hey, here's a copy of my up-to-date or my new policy. And then from there, you can simply open up the compliance, drag and drop, or I've got one saved on my computer. I'm just going to upload that certificate doc into the compliance there. So once that's done, just give it a complete, and now the dates will roll forward. They'll move forward till next year, and then you don't have to worry about that supplier's insurance again for another 12 months.
And so important.
Yeah. We've got those info boxes in the top right corner, color-coded, so you'll always know what's due today, overdue, and expired. We've also updated our dashboard. So if I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that we've got our compliance tab there. Quick, easy access to jump into that compliance screen. At a glance, you can see how many compliance you've got, and then the breakdown underneath. My favorite part about this new compliance feature has to be the jobs part. So I'm going to open up a job, and let's just say the owner wants a quote for, what's this one for? Replace a PowerPoint. So I'm going to assign a supplier, and this supplier has a supplier insurance certificate that's expiring within the next 30 days. So you see, as soon as you go to assign them a job or a quote request, you'll be greeted with that banner straight up.
That's
so
amazing.
Never run the risk of sending a supplier out to a property who doesn't have insurance. That would be a bit of a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, we've updated one of our reports. We know how much you guys love your report. So if we open up our compliance status report, this is going to give you a breakdown of all of the compliance templates that are being used throughout your portfolio, and you'll be able to differentiate between which ones are property compliance and which ones are contact compliance, just based on the type. So you can use this one moving forward, or you can filter down the views. Maybe you just want a property one, you just want a contact one, and then you can save them and use them moving forward.
So good.
So that's our contact compliance feature. If you guys have any questions, feedback, comments, pop them in the comment box down below.
I had one.
Yes.
How do we see the difference between the property compliance and the contact compliance?
Yes.
Since it's all in one little space now.
Yeah, so the main compliance page, we had that toggle switch where you could go between property and contact. But if you open up a specific contact, you'll notice that we've also got a new compliance field with a hyperlink, easy access to jump in, and at a glance you can see all of the compliance that are linked to that contact. You can remove them or even add further compliance if you need to. But also back on our contact screen, if you navigate over to the All button, you'll also notice that we've got a compliance tab, and this is going to house all of the upcoming compliance plus any of the previous ones. So if you ever need to jump in and find maybe a certificate from a couple of years ago, if you've been attaching them as you go along, they'll all be here. You can open them up and view that doc from there.
Amazing. All right, team, let's see if we've got any questions just before we head into our little refresher for today. Oh, and as always, feedback is very much appreciated.
Oh, and just while you're going through those questions, the great thing about tomorrow's release is every single feature that we're putting out is a basic feature. So everything that goes out today is available for everybody from tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, and it's, oh yes, what you just said. David Taylor, sorry, I'm here now. David Taylor, one of our Property Me partners, has said, will this update overnight? Yes, it will. It's going live. So please keep an eye out on that release banner for tomorrow.
Yeah, so just make sure you do navigate to that banner, because we've got the release notes there, so you'll be able to see everything that's included in the release. So when you jump in tomorrow morning, green banner along the top, give it a click and you'll have access to everything that's been included in the release.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think I'm up next.
Yep. What are you
We
taking us through?
have given our reminders a refresh, now known as compliance. And I love this feature very much because, no judgment, but many, many years ago, I used a sad spreadsheet to manage compliance, which is a big no-no now. And all of the third-party apps that we had always forgot the passwords for. So I love this feature.
Spreadsheet?
I love this feature very, very much. And I also love how flexible it is, because on top of the normal kind of, stock standard compliance like smoke alarms and pools and safety switches and things like that, it's very flexible. You can be prompted to do compliance for, say, landlord insurance that's reoccurring, or if you've got that kind of regular maintenance that you have to do, maybe it's a warranty.
Gardening maintenance every 3 months.
I used to have a lot of properties that you had to clean out the gutters every 6 months, or there'll be mold or something like that. So really, really flexible feature, which is great. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of a demo, just as a refresher to compliance. Hop in and take a look around. If you're not already using compliance, I think I've got to get used to that. The first place that I would start is by jumping into the template. So what we want to do is we want to create the compliance templates. We've already seen the pool and smoke alarm compliance that we've got preset, and your new supplier insurance one. But there's a couple of others. So just as some examples, I've got annual termite inspection in there. If you guys have a part of your KPIs, I remember I had to do check-in calls and happy calls with the owners.
Owner calls.
Instead of putting it in your calendar or creating a manual task, this is a great feature for that as well.
How many a week?
Don't remind me. So create your templates first. Once we're happy, so I'm going to jump in, and actually a goodie would be if you have, say, a company that looks after a majority of your smoke alarm compliance, but of course we have those lovely owners that like to manage their own smoke alarms as well. So I might just do that. Owner smoke alarm compliance. Spell it properly.
I love this because you're still being compliant even though the onus is put on the owner, because they're the ones that want to handle it themselves.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's ready to go. So I can then apply that compliance onto my properties, but I'll show you through just what I would do if I did have one supplier managing all of my smoke alarms. So typically that's quite subscription based now, isn't it? So if I wanted to filter through and just have a look for my smoke alarm template, let's say I want to have a look at that everything, say that was due from yesterday and beforehand. I've got a couple of bulk features here which I really, really love, including messaging and reporting as well. But if Billy, that's Peter's preferred supplier, if Billy is doing all of my smoke alarm compliance, I can go ahead and select all and go ahead and generate, create and send a supplier report. So that's going to trigger a message template with a copy of a supplier report. So it'll have all those properties in a list, it'll have the contact information there, and what it will also do is it will toggle my all of my compliance to the next tab, which is in progress now, which is great. So if I wanted to follow up maybe just before the smoke alarms were all due, I can do that in bulk as well. So I can select, I've got a bunch of, I can create a message template as a tradie follow-up. I can do a little message to the tenants when I send that out as well. So that's really flexible. I can either do one by one or in bulk, which is quite nice. And like Peter showed you as well, the same functionality in regards to kind of having that compliance renew and that due date automatically updating for you. So once I've got this compliance certificate from Billy for this property here. If I was to go ahead and attach that now and press complete, that will move over to my closed, and my date next time round will automatically pre-populate for next year as well.
Never miss
How
a compliance
simple
again.
is that? That's right. All right, gang. Keep your questions coming in.
Whilst I was looking into doing the contact compliance, I was reaching out to a lot of agencies, and a lot of people are actually using it predominantly for the smoke alarm and pool compliance.
Yeah.
But as Christina said, you can get creative and you can use it for any sort of recurring compliance.
Landlord's insurance is a
big
good one.
one.
Is a really good one as well. Termite inspections and pests and stuff. All the things that have warranty, for example, they're good too, which is cool. All right. Let's see if we've got any questions coming up.
Let's jump in and see if we've got any questions here while Christina's on. Getting a lot of love. Thanks, Jamie. Says, exciting stuff, team. Awesome work.
Sorry, guys.
Getting a lot of questions. So we've had one coming from Thrive Property NT ask, is there any way to convert reminders for smoke alarms into compliance without having to enter them all again? So the great thing is that we've just done the rename. So tomorrow when you jump in, all you have to do is head to the compliance tab, be on the property switch, and then all of your current reminders will be there. So there's nothing for you to do unless you want to start using contact compliance, and then you can go ahead and set them up against the suppliers that you need to. Right side has said, this is great. We will definitely be using this for supplier insurances. A lot of people that I spoke to are doing it, as you said, outside of property me. So being able to get everything in is just ideal. Tani has asked as well, what will happen to existing reminders? Same thing, you don't have to worry about anything. It's just that side panel menu that will be updated, and then just make sure you're on that properties tab, and then you'll be able to manage your property reminders as normal. You'll just have to start calling them compliance, that's all.
Yes, it'll take me a while to get that around that. All right, Mr. Peter. I think we are good for now.
Cool. So keep your comments coming through. We'll try and get through as many of them as we can, but there's a few more things that we want to go through. So tomorrow we're also releasing a few updates to our rental statistics reports. We've got a few new metrics coming for that report. Let's jump in so I can show you guys what we've got. So the rental statistics report, we know how much you guys have been loving and using this report over the last few months. With tomorrow's release, you'll notice if we scroll down to our fees section, we've got a brand new transacted field. So this is where you guys are going to be able to see the total amount of fees paid to your agency broken down by each of these categories. So we've got the management fees, let fees, rental advertising and other fees, with all of the figures over on the right hand side. We've also added in some tenancy metrics, all to do with rent reviews. So you'll notice from about the fourth one down, we've got how many rent reviews were completed, how many remain overdue, the total amount of increases and decreases through the period, and then my favorite has got to be the average rent adjustment dollar amount by week, and also the average rent adjustment percentage by week. So some great stats for you guys to jump in and have a look at. We've also made a couple of other enhancements to this report. You've always been able to export it by PDF, but you can also now jump in and export to CSV. We've added some extra filters, so you can filter this down by a particular team member or by a team as well. And what I really love about this report is you can backfill. So even though it's being released tomorrow, if you update the dates up the top, you can grab stats from however long you've been using Property Me for. So just quickly on the transacted fees, you'll notice we've got an assign fee categories button. So all you guys need to do in order to start using this report is make sure that you guys have assigned a category to the account codes that you use to collect your management fees and any fees that get paid to your office. So a handy way to do that, I find, is you sort by category, and then you'll be able to see which ones are actually linked. But if you jump across to fees, you can see a whole list of all the fees that you're using throughout Property Me. And if you have a look, you'll be able to see there which account codes are being used. So then from there, all you need to do is jump into your chart of accounts, search for that particular account code, and then just make sure it's got a category. If it doesn't, or maybe it's got an incorrect category, or you want to group them separately or differently, you can just click on the drop down and then select which category is applicable.
Perfect time to take a look at those.
Correct, yeah, a little bit of data cleanup to make sure that those rental statistics are displaying correctly for you.
Fantastic. No questions yet on those enhancements,
Yeah.
but we did have a question from Property Central. Are the compliance tasks set to property manager, or can they be assigned to another staff member? So currently assigned to a manager, but really good feature suggestion. Really, really good.
So that's for the property compliance. So the property manager is the default person that's assigned to the property compliance, but with the new contact compliance, obviously suppliers don't have a rental property to be managed. So you can pick and choose which team member you want to assign to the contact compliance ones.
Really cool. Okay, I think I'm up next. We've got an enhancement that we've sent. Actually, a huge feature suggestion here. Nothing more satisfying than filing away or storing or saving that very final message in something that you think has already been done or closed.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've added the functionality to be able to save a message or an SMS or an email to a task that's already closed, including a closed inspection, a closed job, and a closed lease renewal as well, which is really cool.
I know this one is very high on a lot of people's lists.
Especially if you think you've dealt with it and then something else comes through. You want to save it. You want to have it all in one little spot. I'll show you what it looks like, what the difference is. Hop into my screen. So in this little example, I'm going to go ahead and save this email to a closed task. So all I need to do is select it. Now this all stays the same. However, I've now got include closed tick box there, and I can go ahead and select my closed NCAT hearing that I thought was already done and dusted, and hit save.
So previously people would have had to jump to another screen, open it back up.
That's right.
Close it again, which updates the completed date. So I think everyone is going to absolutely love.
Huge time saver, for sure. Huge time saver.
Especially for those people, if you go on annual leave. Remember going on annual leave and you'd be like, oh my goodness, the one thing that I didn't file away is going to come back and...
That Christina, what does she do all day? Now, before we go through our very final part of the release, we'll see if we've got any questions, but I did also want to show you our brand new app marketplace as well. So many of you, like me, have probably accidentally clicked on this the first day that it came out. The marketplace is a fantastic way for transparency and visibility of all of your integrators, particularly like the filtering options as well. So you can actually see if you're connected to anyone, which is great.
Bit of cleanup.
Bit of tidy up in case you didn't know. We had a couple of tickets actually when this came out. Oh, I didn't know I was connected to this integrator. And I really love the filtering option, so you can actually filter through just to have a look at, you know, what kind of integrations do we have for maintenance or payments or anything like that, which is really great. Also gives you guys the opportunity to be able to disconnect from this view as well. So really there is no better time to have a look at this list. There's been so many in the last 12 months that have popped up. Yeah. Do a bit of a stalk, call, ask for a demo. You know, they're all fantastic. Really nice opportunity to have a look at all of the options that we have available to integrate with. So make sure to check that out.
Sounds good. So we've had a few more questions and comments that have come through. We're getting a lot about will my reminders transfer. So just to reiterate, nothing will change for your current property reminders apart from the tab now being called compliance. So there's nothing for you to do or to worry about. We're updating all of the message templates and all of the merge fields. So anything that you're doing currently for property reminders will move across to compliance with no issues.
Amazing. Peter?
I'm just going through these
Are
questions.
we there yet?
Almost. So Daniel has just said, yes, being able to attach an email to a closed job is a game changer. Praise the Lord. I told you they'd like that one.
I think.
Cool. We'll keep the questions coming through, but I think we're ready to move on to a little sneak.
It's a little bit of a sneak peek, a bit of a secret. So a little birdie told me that we've been working on something that's coming up that's super secret. Can you give us a little bit of a hint?
Yes, so we're hoping for a spring release for this one. So guys, I need to reiterate, this one's not going out tomorrow, but it's currently in development and it's making great progress. And this is really going to elevate your inspections by, what was it?
360 degrees.
So guys, we're introducing a way for you guys to take 360 photos and attach them to your inspections. Now I've got a little demo set up. I've actually set up my camera out in the reception area of Property Me. It's on a little tripod, it's ready to go. So let's jump in and take a look. Great thing about this is all you need is the Insta360 camera, a tripod, and the Property Me app for iPhone or iPad. I've jumped into an inspection. I can see that I can now take 360 photos or even attach existing 360 photos. So now the camera and the app are doing all of the work. It's taking the photo, it's downloading it to your device, and then once it's finished, it's going to appear as a 360 image in the list of inspection photos right there. Give it a tap, it loads super quick. Ooh. And now from here, you can navigate your way around. I'm super impressed by this.
Gosh,
if I do say
so
so
cool.
myself.
So modest.
Little shortcuts, give it a double tap, take a closer look to zoom in, double tap again to zoom out. I think this is going to look absolutely amazing on the client access page for your owners after you've done an inspection and added a 360 image. Even the mobile app owners are going to be able to jump in, and as you see here, they're going to be able to navigate their way around. And also, if you guys are using and utilizing our paperless entry inspection feature, take a 360 photo for that entry, and then when you assign it over to the tenant and they jump in, Property Me mobile app, they'll be able to do the exact same thing as you see here, navigate their way around. And I just think these are they look great. And it's great for like knowing exactly what the property looks like.
So professional,
as well.
so cool.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to play with it. I hope we get one here. Cannot wait, guys, cannot wait.
Cool. So we've gone through everything that's going out in tomorrow's release, plus the 360 cameras that we're working on at the moment. Do you want to give everyone a little bit of a recap to finish off?
A little bit of a breakdown. So keep your eyes peeled for release notes tomorrow. Start with contact compliance. If you're not already using compliance, jump on, add your templates as well. Check out the rental stats report. I will not say rental statistics report as well. Go ahead and start attaching your messages to closed task jobs, inspections, and lease renewals as well. Of course, the marketplace, take a look, have a snoop.
See what's out there.
Do a stalk, absolutely. And of course, we have our favorite trainer, Mr. Scott, doing live training on contact compliance. That's going to be starting on Thursday, actually, Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock. So register ASAP, get the team involved, maybe have a bit of a breakfast around the table.
Myself.
Need a bit of a refresher ourselves. And make sure that you tune in for our next loop episode. So guys, now you're in the loop.
Bye everyone.
See ya.